Hi from New York City, everybody. It's super noisy here. Today we're going to try to find every letter in the alphabet and what sound it makes right here in New York City. So let's get started. I found this cool truck. Can you find the letter A? Can you find the letter A in this truck? Here it is. And do you know what sound the letter A makes? It makes the sound A, but weirdly not in this truck. Now it makes A. So that's a bad example. But here, it definitely makes the sound A. Can you find the A? A makes the sound A. Okay, so let's try to find the letter B. Oh, I found it. B in bedroom. Do you know what sound B makes? B. Good. Okay. Now we're gonna try to find the letter C. Who found it first? I found it. Do you see it? Whoa, there's a lot of C's here. Okay, C is at the first beginning of the word conference. It's that nice curvy thing. Do you know what sound C makes? C makes the K sound usually, but sometimes it makes a S sound. And here this says center, so that makes a S sound. Center, conference, center. Conference center. So that big curly thing is a C. Okay, this one is a little bit easier to see. This is waste connections. C. K. Connections. K. Actually, there's a couple C's. Can you find them all? K. K. Actually, K. This is all connect. So that's a good word to know. Okay, do you know what the next letter we're going to be looking for? I already found it. The next letter that we're looking for, by the way, I think that guy is getting kind of annoyed that I'm kind of filming him. We're looking for D. You're gonna see D a lot in New York City because it's on a lot of one side of the subway. So do you see the letter D? I'm moving in. And what sound does D make? D. D as in downtown. Okay, let's look for E. Okay, there's a couple E's here. There's two E's, and in this case, E does a lot of stuff. It can make the sound F. Here it's making double E, the sound E, as in street. E, as we talked about in another video, can also be a silent E that makes other letters say their name. Here's an example, juice, silent E, more. Oh, this is a better silent E, because juice, E here really makes the O say its name, more, E. Okay, let's try to find an F. Oh, I found an F in South Ferry. F makes the F sound. Okay, all right, there's a dog that's barking for G. Let's try to find a G. Oh gosh, I don't want people to get mad that I'm filming now. G is kind of a hard word to find, but I found one. Oh my gosh, there's just letters everywhere in New York. It's such a good place to practice. So this is a big old cheeseburger. Oh, do not eat cheeseburgers. They are so bad for you. I'm a vegetarian. Don't judge. But yeah, it's better for the environment if you don't eat meat. Sorry to break it to you. So cheeseburger, G. G as in burger, Gyro makes gyro. Okay. G. And now A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We're looking for H. H usually makes the H sound, but sometimes if it comes after an H, it makes a sh sound. So actually, I did find an H here at the end of the word Irish, bar and grill. But it's SH makes the sh sound. It doesn't, usually when you think of H, oh, also a really important word, pharmacy, PH makes the f sound. So kind of, you know, usually when you think of H, it just makes the h sound, but we're already seeing that often H is just used to make other letters make a different sound, which is kind of weird, but you'll get used to the idea. It says which. So that way it makes C makes a ch sound. Oh my gosh. I just don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed and frustrated. Like, here's another H. It's still not a h. It's making Thursday make the th sound. I wish we could just find a classic H, but it's C in this type of learning. Like here we have lunch. Here it makes the ch sound. I mean, I can understand that you'd be frustrated learning to read when there's all these exceptions to the rules. Okay, this is actually not an English word. Ho. I don't know what hotiak. Is that Korean? I'm not sure. No, taiyaki, maybe Japanese. Okay, Here's a great classic H in the word honey. Do you find it? Oh, okay. Whew, that was a tough one. Now, again, you can watch this video as much as you want because it might take a while to learn all these letter sounds. Okay, you see the H? Oops, we're on I, oh my gosh. Classic I here, easy, it's just a line, I as in fish. So what I want you to do when you're looking around for these letters is actually, instead of starting thinking about letters as like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, start thinking of letters as their sounds. A, B, K, D, E, F, G, H, I. Okay, J. J is not as common a word, so it's going to be a little bit trickier for us to find a J. Maybe we can find some jelly beans or jugs. I do not even see an H yet. I'm going to cross the street in pursuit of my H. Or wait, we're not looking for H, we're looking for J. J, maybe you'll see one before me. That would be kind of cool. I'll miss a J. Okay, well, I am coming up on a menu, so maybe I can, oh, actually, I see a J. I think that's an Indian word, but good enough. Diraj News. Okay, do you see the J? Can you find it? It's like a game, trying to find these letters. It's the end of Diraj. J. J. Okay, now we're looking for a K. Can we find a K anywhere? Let's go down this street. Try not to film people while I'm making this video. Beautiful French word, le pain quotidien. Alright. Oh, I found a K. Can you see it? Do you find the K? K, as in Curat. Again, I think some of these words are international, and so that's another way where like reading gets kind of crazy, is because when you are like in an international city like New York, there's so many international words and those have different rules. But again, don't get overwhelmed. Let's just try to start finding letters and making the sound instead of making the letter. Do you see the K? All right, there's a K in the letter ask. K. Ask. Ask. Yeah, you might see K a lot in the letter word ask. Okay, now we're looking for an L. Luckily, L's are pretty great words. They don't change a lot. They're usually just, what sound does L make? L. This is a restaurant, Loopy's. I guess the O's are just balls. So that's where you get really clever, when you can recognize a picture is starting to imitate a letter O. Okay, L as in Loopy's. I kind of want to find another L, just because L's are so abundant and they're such lovely letters. They make the la 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 sound, like in singing. Oh, okay, I see an L in the middle of a word. Do you see it? Palms, L, L. And then right next to that is an M. So we got our M there too. M. I'm an M. My name is Manisha. M. Let's see if we can find another M. Oh, I see one. Do you see it? Romy Salon. R-O-M-I. M. 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 Like L is a pretty great letter. It doesn't change a lot. Import. Do you see the M? M. Okay, and then after that we have a P. We're getting lucky today. We had an LM and then we had an MP. Oh wait, but before P, MN. I forgot my alphabet. N. Oh, I see two N's. Henna. N. N. Do you see them? N makes the N sound. So as you're doing this video, if you're still learning what letters make what sounds, try to guess before me what sound it makes. Let's see if we can find another N. I don't see any other N's around. Church Street Boxing Gym. Ask out large. Oh, I see one. Large units. U-N-I-T-S. Do you see the N? What sound does N make? No. Okay, we are moving. I think we're like halfway through the alphabet. O. In this case, import. An O makes an O sound, which is another bizarre rule. Usually, O is supposed to make an ah sound. What sound does O usually make? Ah. But often O says its name. So it can be a bit confusing. And again, when you're learning to read, take one thing at a time, and it's gonna feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many rules, how am I ever gonna get this? But if you go slowly and practice, suddenly it's just gonna become intuitive. Your brain is so powerful. Only on your, what am I talking about? I just totally read that word wrong. See, even a pro like myself can get a word wrong. Okay, this is a sign. Says drink free on your birthday. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Okay, so O-N. You know O and you know N. O makes an ah sound. Also, this is like weird typeface. So O is usually just a circle, but here it's a weird curly thing. What sound does O make? Ah, good job. Yeah, there's so many O's here. O-U and lounge. I don't love this as an example because it's this weird face font. And also, okay, there's two O's together. Whenever you see two O's, don't feel like you have to remember this today, but do you happen to know what sound it makes when you have two O's together? Ooh. Hey, should we try to sound out this word? You know P. What sound does P make? What sound does L make? P makes P. L makes L. We blend it all together with that beautiful ooh we just found. What word do you think this is? Pool. Pool. So if you want to play pool, go over here because that's where the arrow is pointing. Okay, pool. Amazing. You were doing so great. All you have to do, watch this video 10 times, 50 times, and you are on a roll. What letter are we looking for? We did O. Did we do P? Let's do, I'm not sure we did P. Well, we kind of found P in pool. Oh, rose. Oh, here's a great P showing up at the beginning of a word. Actually, this is kind of an important word. It's push. So if you're in front of a door and you see this word, you're supposed to push, not pull it. U is not behaving here. It's saying instead of However, P is behaving perfectly. Do you see the P at the beginning of the word? What sound does that make? P. Okay. Now we're gonna try to find a hard one. Q. Q is always appearing before a U. You're never gonna see a Q without a U. If you do see a Q without a U, that is something in a language that is not English or some weird startup that tried to make a funky name. Okay, Q, you might hear Q as in the word quest or question. You're on a quest to learn how to read. I'm really proud of you. I know that it sounds weird to say you're proud of someone that you don't know, but if you're somebody who's watching a video of learning how to read, you have courage, you have humility, you are in a process of change in your life, you're learning, either you love learning or you're deciding to learn to change your life, and that's a beautiful thing. If you're a grown-up, it's super courageous, and if you're a kid, I can understand that sometimes it feels hard and sometimes it feels fun, and I hope this feels fun. And again, when you look around and you see so many people who know how to read, you might feel like, why don't I know how to read? Ooh, there's another K. Ooh, K in park. You might look around and you say, why do all these people know how to read and I don't know how to read? What's wrong with me? Well, first of all, you don't know that all these people know how to read. I mean, with 130 million people who don't know how to read in the US, there are a lot of people who are probably hiding the fact that they don't know how to read very well. So probably a lot more people struggle with reading than you're aware of, just because unfortunately there's like kind of a culture of shame around not knowing how to read. And I really encourage you to change that by saying, you know, tell people you don't know how to read. Say you're learning how to read. Say reading is hard. I think that good people, cool people are going to be so impressed that you are learning how to read, even though it's hard, because there's nothing more amazing than someone who is learning how to do something that's hard for them. And that's a fact. A lot of people just choose the easy path in this life, and you're choosing something more challenging, and that's amazing. Okay, I can't find a Q anywhere. I'm so disappointed. Where on earth is a Q? Are we gonna have to come up with our own Q? Man. Greens, skirt news. Okay, I'm gonna just, Q is kind of a circle with a little line on it that comes before a U. Maybe we can find one on a menu. Quick. Only when someone is saying like quick food. All right, so I can't find a Q, but the good news is that you're probably not going to see a lot of Q's either, so it's not that important. Maybe on a menu. Okay, let's just skip Q for now, I guess, and go to R. We have another hamburger. Very annoying for me, the vegetarian. What sound does R make? R. Oh, this is a sandwich. I like a vegan version of this one, a Reuben. You see the R? This is a capital R. We didn't talk about capital and lowercase letters, but That's just another thing to get used to. Some of them look the same, like basically at the beginning of the word, sometimes there's a bigger letter. In the middle of the word, there's a smaller letter, or the beginning of a phrase, a sentence. Yuck, cigarettes. Yeah, there might be an R. There might be a capital or a lowercase. So sometimes letters look a little bit different if they're at the beginning or the middle of a word. Usually only if it's at the beginning of a sentence or if it's the title of something. I'm still kind of stuck on this Q. All right, let's move to S. Okay, you need a SIM card. Here's the S is a very fun and easy letter that only changes if it's front of an H really and makes sh. Okay, so S makes the S sound and so. Okay, should we try to sound this out just for fun? Do you know what this word is? Do you see the letters N, O, N? Can you sound those out? No. Okay, so, what were we on? R, S, T. Okay, now we're looking for a U. I'll go in here. Hello. Okay, someone was kind of chasing me on the street, which makes it very distracting to sound out my letters. But I'm gonna see if I can find a U. Oh, I don't know if this U makes the sound, but par. U makes You see it a lot in or nut or true. I'm making a video teaching people to read, sounding out the words in your beautiful store. What's the name of this store? Super Denim. Do you have any Q's? Any word with the letter Q? Oh, thank you. Okay, let's come back here for Super Denims. Okay. Super Denims. Okay. Oh, Super Denim. This is the card that guy gave me. That was so nice. He let us film in his store, but he doesn't have a Q in this card. Okay, I wanted to go here. I didn't go here earlier because there was someone yelling in the street. All right, we've gotten far. We have gotten to, I feel like I skipped a couple letters. We were on S. I don't know if I did T. T is such a great letter. Oh, here are 2 T's in the word lettuce. Do you see them? T, T, T. And here's a capital T. What sound does T make? T. And what do you think this is for? A tomato. Lettuce and tomato. Okay, so if you like lettuce and tomato sandwiches, T is a helpful word to know. Oh, I see an S and a T in this sign too. Do you see them? And to find the S's and the T's. Okay. All right, ST, and we already did U, which makes the sound, although I didn't feel like I found a great U. I'm a little bit bummed about that. We're still looking for a good U and a good Q. I mean, I guess the thing about U is that we learned it makes a lot of different sounds, so you can't always find the U that you want. Like we're finding a U that makes the sound, but sometimes U makes a U sound or an oo sound, or even, oh my gosh, here's a really difficult word you're going to learn in no time, augmented. There's a U there. That doesn't sound anything like Okay. But a lot of words do make the sound they're supposed to. Oh my gosh. I found a Q. I'm so excited. Do you see it? As I told you, it comes before a U. Qua. Yeah. U after Q makes qua. So weird. Okay. Oh my gosh, I found a good U. Great U. I bet you can read this word. What's the first letter? What's the second letter? First letter, U. Second letter, P. What sound does the first letter make? And remember, we're trying to see the world in sounds instead of letters. U makes and what's the sound the second letter makes? P. So can you sound those out? Okay, I bet we can sound out this U too, in the middle of the world. U and B. B and P. P. Pub. Can you sound that out? Pub. Did you say pub? Pub. And then the second part, lick. So in my other video, just learning how to read, we're going to talk about how it helps to break words into 2 or 3 parts. And I always say, if you want to learn, slow down to speed up. You know, you want to be in that place where it feels easy but not too easy, and it doesn't feel too hard. Because if it feels too hard, you're just going to give up, and if it feels too easy, you're going to get bored. So kind of make it a little bit challenging. And then just, you know, right now, if this is the first time you're watching this video, you might be thinking, this is so easy, why did I waste my time? Or you might be thinking, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming, I'm never going to learn all of this. But believe me, if you do watch this video every day, you are suddenly going to realize that you're going to start recognizing all the sounds. Okay, what were we on? S-T-U-V. Is there any V's here? V is kind of, I mean, V is not that hard. Oh my gosh, I found a V. It's not a very good V because it's in a bad word. Vapor. They're selling all kind of inappropriate stuff here. So V, the word vapor, V makes V. Okay, that's good enough. Sorry if your child is watching this, but you know, the sad thing is, like, when you go around a city, you're going to find things that are wholesome and good, and you're going to find things that are not necessarily bad for you. So if you don't want your kid to walk into a vapor store, it's probably better that they know that the V makes the V sound and they can stay away from there. All right, so yeah, I mean, you can hide kids from social media, but you can't hide them from all the nasty street signs in New York City. Okay, VW. I love the letter W. I just find it to be so pretty. It's like an upside down M. Ooh, I found a nice Z here. We might need this later in crazy. W. Where can we find a W? Ooh, some good M's. Do you see the M's? Okay, W, W, W. Let's see if we can break down this sign. Find a good W. Are there any W's? I'm gonna sneeze. I don't see any W's. I see an A. They got a good grade. They're very efficient. See, that's already something. Now, even with the letter A, you can see when a restaurant has an A. You don't want to go to any restaurants with a B- health score. Oh my gosh, how did I not even think of this? So W is in the word west, and every single street sign that's on the west side has a W in it for west. Do you see the W? And what sound does W make? W. So actually, if you look at street signs, especially if you're walking on the west side of New York City, you can see it a lot. Oh, and you might be familiar with the street, it's a very famous street called Broadway. Can you find the W in Broadway? Broadway. Okay, we're almost near the end. And WX. Now, X is also kind of an uncommon letter, but if we can find an exit sign, we can probably find an X. You probably already know X because you probably are familiar with X marks the spot, exit signs. It just comes up a lot when you're looking for signs. Woo! Okay, X. X is also a fun one. You can use it for if you're playing tic-tac-toe. I did find an X. Let's see. Mystery. You're getting good. Can you see the X? LX jewelry. I mean, that is so funny you found that X, because what I was going to tell you is that X usually comes after EX as an exit. That's actually what we call a prefix, meaning out of. So if something has an X, it's usually saying like a no or a not, or a leaving, existential. You're thinking about your existence, what out of existence looks like. Ooh, that just got spooky. What is another? I don't know why existential was the first word that came to my mind. That's a bit odd. But exit, out of it. It, X, out of it. Exit. Okay. I don't see any exit. Where is X? All right, we're gonna skip X. Wait, we found X, but we just didn't find it in the right context. There's our X. Okay, that's the best I can do with X for now. Oh my gosh, I found such a good X, a wonderful X. Here's an example. It does not mean out of. Wonderful word. Can you guess what this word is? See it on every. What type of food do you think this place is serving? Mexican. X, 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 X. So whenever you see that EX, you can say, hey, that's X. That's a word that has an X in it. Maybe you can even guess what the word is. All right, we have two more letters, Y and Z. We already found a Z in that one street sign. Oh, here's another U. Do you see it? Upside pizza. Okay, let's find a Y. Do you think any of this Mexican food has a Y in it? Oh, here's a good Y. The end of the word jewelry. Do you see it? Y. What sound does Y make? Yeah. Also in yes. Oh, and there's also a Y at the end of the word Broadway on that street sign. Yeah. Those are kind of hard words, but I bet you can already start to read the last part of Broadway. Way. W-A-Y. A strange word. It seems like it should be Y, but it's way. Yeah, there's Broadways all over the place. See that one? Find the Y. Okay, and now we just need to find a Z, and that's gonna be done for today. I see a Z way over there in that sign, Mozart. I think that is not an English word, but it's a cool one. And yeah, I love all the international words, but it definitely makes reading more complicated, especially in a place like New York. I mean, basically, I think what's important now is that usually, hopefully, I can't even say usually, a letter is supposed to make its own sound, but it doesn't always make that sound. But when you're just starting off reading, it's better just to read phonetically, which means sounding out the letters the way they're supposed to sound. So just as you're walking around the city, I want you to be thinking about these letters, not as letters, but as sounds. So here we see the movie Moana. You should be thinking it starts with a M instead of starting with an M. Here, this word. Do you see the first letter in this word? It's an M. What sound does M make? M. That's Monday.com. Do you think Monday.com will sponsor this amazing video? Let's ask them. Okay, so they are not a sponsor now, but maybe one day they will be. Oh my gosh, we need a Z. We're so close. I don't see a Z. Maybe I'm gonna ask you to find a Z. Can you find a Z in your city, and then can you send me a photo of it for this video? Or maybe you can attach it in the comments, and you can, if you have a good Z word that you see a lot in the city, you could write it in the comments. A Z is just a zig. Z. I don't see a Z. I'm gonna maybe have to make our own Z. I'm gonna try to think, what is a sign that usually has the word Z in it? I mean, all I can think of is crazy. Maybe you think I'm crazy for making this video, but I think it's kind of fun. Z. Okay, so, oh my gosh, wait, I found one in the word crazy. All right, last but not least, we have Swingers, the Crazy Golf Club. Can you find the Z? It's very tiny. The Crazy Golf Club, the Z. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for doing the sounds of the alphabet with me. This has been really fun, and I think that the best way to practice these sounds is just start with M. Start with one of them. Start with one sound like M, and just whenever you see an M around your city, you know that makes the M sound. So just start looking for the M sound. Start looking for the B sound, and just walk around your city and look for it. You can also just watch this video over and over until when I start asking you this sound, it just becomes easy for you to identify the sound. And you'll find that sometimes just repetition is the best way to learn. Anyway, once again, I just want to say how much I admire you for learning how to read. Truly, it's not easy, it's hard. You're smart, and you just haven't learned how to do this particular parlor trick yet. So you're gonna learn, you're gonna be great whether you're an adult or you're a kid. I think you should be honest with the people you know that you're learning how to read. There's nothing to be ashamed at. You're smart, you're capable, and I'm excited to learn how to read more together. If there's any certain type of video, any sounds you're struggling with or words you're struggling with and you want me to make a video about that, just ask. All right, have a great day, everyone. Lots of love.